Yeah, I don't really like the notion of that either. It didn't look like he won, and then he's getting a title shot. I think people are a little bit sour about that. I just want to fight. I want to be as active as possible. I want to fight as much as frequently as I possibly can. Yeah, I just want to get back to what I do and what.
But a lot of this could have been calmed down. A lot of this could have been quieted, could have been subdued if perhaps, I don't know, the face of the company would have gone to the press conference and said, look, that was a great fight. That was a great round. We're going to rebook it right away. He will live to fight another day and we stand by him. Of course, that didn't happen. Instead, this is what you got from UFC President Dana White.
You know, Tom didn't want to continue in the fight. So.
After the events at UFC 321, Tom Aspinall has finally blown up after receiving an eye poke that ruined one of the year's most anticipated fights in a no contest. The British heavyweight is enraged with Ciryl Gane. Tom didn't hold back in his first remarks following the altercation. He said that the referee had already given Gane 2 warnings to keep his mouth shut.
What the is he doing? The left one was really deep. The left one was really deep. Both of them. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, but
twice
before he got one for it.
Mike Bisping, he lost his eye. It's just a horrendous thing to think as a parent, really. And I know what it's like these days with people saying what they want, but if it's just your son, and they could lose an eye, and their health, and they've got children to look after, you know, something needs doing about it. Yeah, it's horrendous for me to look.
They've done that on the UFC broadcast, by the way, and humiliated Ciryl Gane for what he was fucking doing. That doesn't happen by accident. And you can hear Aspinall's team, what the fuck is this? A double poke? I just think Ciryl Gane's a dirty fucking cheat. I'm disgusted in that, like. I'm fucking disgusted. Because you can fucking take someone's eyesight for life doing that shit. All because the pressure's getting you and you're feeling the hate. What the fuck are you doing in there then? There should be a fine and a suspension for that level of shit, in my opinion. Because if you're going to fight like that, you're going to fucking blind people. But let's take a look at what Dana White had to say.
Guys, I just got fucking poked knuckle deep in the eyeball. What the f***? Why are you booing? What am I supposed to do about it? I didn't do the fucking poke. I can't see.
Tom, they should not be booing. I agree with you. You waited a long time for this moment. Talk to the disappointment of this being how it ends.
This is bullshit. The fight was just getting going.
Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane just took place in the main event of UFC 321, or did it really? Ciryl Gane eye pokes Tom Aspinall at the end of round 1. We had a very competitive round of fighting that I thought Ciryl Gane was slightly getting the edge of, but Tom Aspinall was starting to find his timing on Ciryl. Landed a good right hand before the end, but Cyryl's jab was popping. Cyryl's jab was popping in that fight. Tom Aspinall had a bit of a nosebleed. And then Ciryl Gane lands his signature move. No, not the back of the head shots that he lands in every single fight he has ever. Not the back of the head shots that he lands in every single fight ever, nearly in every single finishing sequence he's ever had ever in his entire career, bar the heel hook.
Because Gane had previously poked him in the eye on a takedown attempt early in the bout. Tom described it as ugly and reckless, saying that the incident changed everything. After waiting more than a year for this moment, he is heartbroken, irate, and disappointed.
Tom didn't want to continue in the fight. I mean, could you imagine if you're Tom Aspinall listening to that? Could you imagine? I mean, we know that no one from the UFC was with him at the hospital. We saw that on his video blog. Could you imagine how this guy must be feeling on this Monday? Everyone calling him into question, his heart into question, because he got poked in the eye multiple times, one of them knuckle deep, and his promoter is saying Tom didn't want to continue. Not Tom was fouled with an illegal strike, multiple illegal strikes. Let me ask you a question. If that happened in some alternate universe to AJ, to Anthony Joshua, what do you think Eddie Hearn is saying? Eddie Hearn's probably still at the hospital with him. That's the difference. That's what I talk about. How do you think Tom feels on this Monday? Do you think he wanted it to end like that? Do you think that Tom was saying to himself, you know what? I got a bloody nose. The going got tough here. Peace out, guys. I'm out. Again, the fight wasn't as one-sided as people want you to believe. Yeah, I know it was weird that he was bloody. And yeah, I know it was weird that he was losing a round. We never see him lose rounds. We never see it go past the 2 minute and 2 second mark. That's his fight average going into this fight. But do you guys really think that he was looking for a way out?
I'm mad, and I don't know who I'm mad at. I'm either mad at Ciryl or I'm mad at Tom. Something about this, though, was very off. Look, the fight, they were kind of getting to know each other. They were kind of feeling each other out. Tom did everything right, by the way. He came out there, he threw the big bombs, but Ciryl was slipping.
What he does when when his first plan of action doesn't work, what's he checked down to? Is he gonna wrestle? Can he compete with Ciryl Gane on his feet for 25 minutes? And I don't get any of those answers, and just like everybody at home, I'm disappointed.
Being poked in the eye is illegal, Brendan, but to fight with one eye is very common.
I'm seeing online that Tom Aspinall was struggling against Ciryl Gane. He was getting found out. He quit because he just didn't want it in there with Ciryl Gane. He starts throwing an eye poke. Do I think that's a coincidence? Not at all. Just like it wasn't a coincidence when it happened earlier in the fight. When Aspinall did shoot for a takedown at one point, the fingers immediately go into the eyes of Tom Aspinall. Now, I've got a little clip here of the closing sequence of the fight. Let's rewatch this again.
Apparently Tom's saying that he can't see. That's not a good look, pardon the pun. That's it. The fight's been called off. Everyone's pissed off, the crowd's booing, obviously that's a terrible shame. Oh man, what an anticlimax. Hey guys, how we doing? I gotta get to work. Here now. Oh man. It was a really entertaining fight, really entertaining round. Hey buddy, how you doing? What's up, buddy? I gotta get to work. I'm doing something as well. I don't know what to say. Jesus Christ. All right, so obviously the main event ended in a fashion that nobody wants to see. It was a tremendous fight. Ciryl Gane and Tom Aspinall were going toe-to-toe, and it was shaping up to be a tremendous title fight. It really was. And we were going to see Tom Aspinall taken out of the first round. You know, a lot of people online are talking a lot of saying that he quit.
Only for a filthy, unintentional, but persistent foul to put an end to it. Aspinall claimed to be blind in his right eye. It would have been reckless to keep fighting given the severe agony. However, a significant portion of the MMA community reacted against him rather than showing empathy, labeling him weak and wimpy, and even accused him of quitting. In a news conference, Dana White even questioned the pause, stating that only Tom knows if he could have continued, or things really took off online at that point. In the comments, fans, pundits, and fighters engaged in combat. Some claim that Tom gave up, while others assert that it was an obvious no-contest situation that ought to have resulted in a disqualification for Gane. Speaking out in support of Aspinall, Ariel Helwani said that the hatred he is receiving is absurd. People forget things like this man's eye poke, according to Ariel. He had no vision. Do you want him to fight blindly? It's not a toughness issue, but a safety concern. Additionally, there is currently a sharp divide in the MMA community. While some fans believe Aspinall was beginning to feel the pressure, many others believe Gane was fortunate. But one thing is evident. Tom Aspinall is upset. He is demanding justice because he feels misled and mistreated. Dana White has stated that a rematch will be scheduled as soon as feasible. And Tom Aspinall will be fighting for more than just redemption when that cage door closes once more. He will be fighting furiously because this time he wants to destroy rather than merely win.